Hey guys, Brian here. Welcome back to the shop. Today is an interesting one, probably. This is going to be one you probably not ever going to see another machinist do anyway. One of the most challenging things about job shop work typically is how you hold the parts, especially with castings that had minimal operations done on when they were made, because that saves a lot of money. Only do what needs to be done. So then there's limited reference surfaces to go by when you're doing repair work. But what we got here today is a little bracket that needs modified, because they've done some modifications to where this bracket sticks through and now it hits. So we need to add about 1/4 inch of clearance on here. But first off, you got to figure out how to hold it. We got a bracket like this, and we need to lower this shoulder 1/4 inch here. And this is all as cast, nothing machined on this side. We got a bored hole here, nothing machined over here, and the only thing that's machined over here is this face and the bearing. So that's what we're going to use to line this thing up. Oh, this hole here is bored too, and it's got a counter bore here, but we can't really do much with that. So let me show you my setup. This is going to be my work holding setup. What I've decided to do is I've put the only referenceable surface against my 236 block, and got it clamped down to the table. It's up against a stop block, so I know I'm square with my V-ways just by setting this up. And got it held in good and tight. It doesn't seem to be moving. Stud screwed into the block, pulled down. So we're going to try this to see if we can't get this relieved back the additional 1/4 inch it needs to be. If I had a facing slide on here, it'd be a lot easier, but the facing side, we have this wonderful setup. I tried a couple other different things. I had a little boring head with a bar that sticks out and a bar that sticks forwards that I could use a little bit, but the problem is it would hit my stud and I couldn't get back far enough to use that. So I needed something with more stick out, and my big boring head will not offset far enough, at least not with the bar turned around, because the bar actually is designed to kick out even further. So when it's reversed, it kicks it back in. So didn't have a bar to take advantage of that, but my big boring head will take the same size shanks as goes in to the mill. So I've just got a boring head stacked in another boring head to achieve enough offset to be able to do this job. So hopefully this will work. I'm sure it's not the most rigid setup in the world, but it really don't feel too bad. There's a lot of steel out there. I'm not gonna run this super fast because it'd probably bounce the mill off the floor. But let's see if this thing will cut. was to go around this thing. So try and take the end mill and trace this pattern. Get this where this washer can go all the way up on here and not stick off. Let's fire the mill up and reverse this thing and see if we can't put a square on there. Well, I hope you enjoyed that little project on the challenging work holding, and then the even more challenging turning operation. Guess if I had the big lathe going, I could have done these in a 4-jaw chuck maybe, but there's still not really much to grip or go off of, so I think the mill was the better alternative for this, because these are really funky shapes and not much machined. It's all pretty much just as cast. So tolerances are not super critical, but I got to turn back for this extra plate like they wanted, and mill this back to where the washer sits flush. So that's also what they wanted, and we got them both done. Well, big thanks to the G&L for another job well done. This would have been challenging to do on any of my other machines. I probably couldn't even done it on the Cincinnati because of the stick out caused by the double boring heads in order to get enough offset. So maybe someday I'll find a facing slide for this thing and it won't be an issue anymore. I can go 2 feet or more and still stick a boring bar in it. But that'll be on down the road if I ever find one. Oh, and as a side note, I noticed today that Jason over at Fireball Tools, apparently something happened to his channel and it got wiped out. So if you're a subscriber to him, you're gonna have to go back and resubscribe to him in order to get caught up on his videos. He's lost a lot of content over there apparently, and hopefully he'll be able to get it back. But if not, then you can catch all the new stuff anyway. I hadn't heard anything about it being disappeared, but I'm not as into social media as a lot of people. I'm kind of a little busy, so go over and check out Jason and Fireball Tools. And I said, if you're already a subscriber, you'll have to delete that old subscription and start a new one. So, P.S. Bailey approves this message. Thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and I'll catch y'all later.